Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Jakayla, but you can call me Jack. And I am here to talk about my journey to starting a new business. The name of my business is Magnolia Luxe Company, and I am preparing to officially and finally launch in October. I have not set the date just yet, but I am planning to launch within the first week or two of October to 2020. Today is September 24th, 2020. Yeah, so I didn't know what day it was. So today is September 24th, 2020 when I'm recording this, and I just wanted to bring you all along my journey. My journey actually started 2 years ago, if I'm being honest. If you watch other videos on my channel, there's a series called While Everyone Was Busy. My journey to starting this business began about 2 years ago in 2020. And if you go back through my channel, I have a series called While Everyone Was Busy, where I interviewed young Black entrepreneurs. We just discussed their business journeys and their career journeys and their creative endeavors. Most of them were creatives. And I interviewed a candle maker that I used to go to high school with. And then I interviewed another candle maker. And what that brought to life for me was that you can make your own candles. That's not something that I ever thought about, or something that I ever thought was possible, that you can make your own candles. Sometimes I have this mindset that just because somebody does something doesn't mean that I can do it too. Or if I see something like in stores, it's like, well, you probably have to have all of this different stuff to do X, Y, and Z. And so while interviewing this person, I learned so much. And at that time, I was going through a creative rut. We were in the middle of a pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic, and I used to write. I won't say that I still write, because I haven't written anything besides ideas that I get. I haven't written anything in a while, but I am a writer at heart. A creative writer, and I mostly like to write for teens and adults. I've published 2 books, one accidentally, so a total of 3 books that I've published. My company is called Exit 81 Publishing. I would not say that business was a failure. It was just something that I stopped doing because I no longer had the passion at the time. And not only was I writing books, I was also into screenwriting, writing for film and TV. That's something that I've been working towards since I was 19. Well, I've actually been writing since I was a kid, but I didn't know that being a screenwriter was a career until I got to college. When I was 19, I learned about it. And then from then on, that was a path that I had been on, chasing that dream. And I got into writing books because I wanted a way to get my stories out to the world. And I knew that getting into the entertainment industry is something that is very, very hard to do. So here we are, 2020. I'm interviewing these candle makers, and they're telling me about their businesses and things like that. And so once their episodes aired and things like that, and after the show ended, I started doing some research and discovering that, how I wouldn't say easy it is, but how accessible the materials were that I needed to start making my own candles. And so I don't even know what the first company was that I even ordered anything from. It's been so long, and I wasn't keeping track of any of that stuff. And so I think the first time I ever made a candle, my daughter convinced my mom to buy me a candle making kit for my birthday in 2020. And so it was a candle making kit from Amazon. It has soy wax. It did not specify which type of soy wax. It was a terrible kit, but it was, she was a kid. She didn't know. But it was a terrible kit for the people who actually made it. They could have done a lot better. The wicks were not labeled. Like, we didn't know what type of wicks these were. We didn't know what type of soy wax this was. The fragrance oils were lackluster. So it was just like, this is a start, but it was actually relaxing. The one thing I took away from it is that it was relaxing for me. And one thing about me is I'm transparent and open about dealing with anxiety and depression. And during the pandemic, I fell into a very, very, very bad depression. I lost interest in anything that I ever had any interest in whatsoever. Like I said, I stopped writing. I put out my first and last novel August 2020, and I just did not do anything else after that. I felt like I was in the dark. And so after I learned about making candles and things like that, I started buying materials. I went to the dollar store, bought some mason jars, and stuff like that, and I just started making candles. I think the first wax that I actually bought, if I'm not mistaken, was coconut apricot cream from Wood & Whitco, which is now called Makesy. I think that was the very first wax I tried, but I could be wrong, that I purchased with my own money. And so I actually got a decent cold throw off of that candle, but the hot throw wasn't there. And like I said, it was like one of the first times that I ever made a candle aside from the kit that I got. So I didn't know what I was doing, if I'm being honest. And so as time went on, like I said, it's been 2 years. I've tried so many different waxes. I've tried coconut apricot cream. I've tried, right now I'm on soy tan. That's the love of my life. Soy tan and soy bliss. I love both of those, but soy tan is a little bit better than soy bliss to me. TW30, which is a tart wax, love it. The best tart wax I've ever found and used. I've tried deluxe satin soy from Makesy, coconut apricot cream from Makesy. I've tried the virgin coconut soy, I think it is, from Makesy. I've tried C55, which is a coconut tart wax. I've tried IGI 6006, IGI 6046, that's a para cocoa. IGI 6006 is a para soy blend. I've tried beeswax, and that's just like the little white beeswax pellets that you can get from Candle Signs. I haven't tried them in a significant amount, but yeah. I've also tried, and I actually have a 45-pound box of coconut brew wax from Candles and Supplies. So I've tried a lot of waxes over the last 2 years. I've tried a lot of wicks. I've tried a lot of fragrance oils. I've spent a lot of money. And throughout the whole process, the one thing that has stuck out to me was how much people will tell you how much it costs to start a candle business, which my business is not necessarily a candle business. I'm going to be selling candles and wax melts, but we're not a candle business per se. But people will tell you how much it costs to start a candle business, what you need to get started, how easy it may or may not be, and things like that. And I have just found that doing things in my own way is just what's working for me. I've taken it's taken me 2 years to test and things like that, simply because I am a single parent. I have a 12-year-old daughter, and money has always been tight. And so if you know, like I know, during the pandemic, the supplies, candle making supplies, everybody had got into making candles, whether it was to sell or just as a hobby. So many people were at home, so everybody was buying up all the supplies, and so there were shortages on wax, shortages on wicks, shortages on vessels. And not only that, once we started to ease out of that, now we're at a point where we're dealing with inflation, and so the cost of everything has skyrocketed. So you're getting less for more money. I've been looking at some of the waxes that I used to use, and they're darn near $200, and that's before shipment. Darn near $200 for 40 to 45 pounds, when they were easily $100 to $120, I would say in 2020, 2021. And so because of the rise in prices and things like that, and me constantly changing my mind, I've spent a lot of money. I won't say that I wasted it, but I've spent a lot of money. And I did that because I just wanted to try to figure out what exactly I wanted and what exactly I wanted for my brand. I did not specify what I mean by having a Southern Homebody Essentials brand. So before I define that, let me just explain that when I first decided to start Magnolia Luxe Company, It was going to be a candle company that made Louisiana inspired candles, because I'm a Louisiana native, as is most of my family. We're all from Louisiana, Shreveport to be exact. And I have so many memories about growing up there and growing up in Arkansas, and my time traveling to Louisiana back and forth for family functions and things like that. And so I thought that when, once all the candle names just started coming to me, the different combinations that I wanted to try as far as fragrance oils were concerned, all of this stuff started coming to me. And so I was like, ooh, okay, this is what I can do. And so Magnolia Luxe Company was born, because the magnolia is the state flower of Louisiana. At the time, I was like, I want to do a luxury brand. I don't want to do something simple or basic that everybody's doing with the mason jars and stuff like that. And I no longer really see that stuff as basic, but I also see it as too accessible in my mind. It's too accessible. And I just feel like if somebody can get something from anywhere, then they're not going to be necessarily committed to your brand or what's the word? They're not going to be necessarily dedicated to spending their money with you if they know that they can get something elsewhere. And so that's where my brain started turning up, and I started getting all of these wild ideas. And I'm just like, for the first year and a half, it was, yes, this is going to be Louisiana inspired candles and wax melts. And then over the last 6 months, it just started coming to me more naturally, like, why don't you do something I don't know that anybody else is doing it. I won't say nobody's doing it, but I haven't heard of a Homebody Essentials brand. And what that means is that I am a homebody. I am an introvert. I love to be at home. I have no problem staying at home. I could be just laying up on my phone scrolling TikTok. I could be watching TV. I could be writing. I could be making candles. I could be doing anything. But leaving my house, if I'm not in like a really, really good mood, I'm just not going to be eager about going out into the outside world, dealing with people and spending money I don't have to spend, and having to think about driving in Dallas. The traffic out here, like the way, it's not the traffic, but the way people drive is absolutely, I already have anxiety. And so the way that these people drive out here is nerve-wracking, and I'm constantly having to watch through my rearview mirror to make sure nobody is, speeding up on me and about to hit me. I don't have time for it. So I just stay in the house unless I absolutely positively want to go somewhere, or I just need to get out and get some air and some sunlight on my skin. So when I came up with the idea for a Homebody Essentials brand, I was like, I'm from the South. And one thing about the South is, if you grew up in the South and if you have family that's from the South, we gather a lot. If you have a big family or a family that actually likes each other, we like to cook and play games and stuff like that. And so I was like, I enjoy doing that kind of stuff more than going out, because anybody who knows me know that I've never been the type of person to go to a club, bars, anything like that. I just don't care for stuff like that, and I never have. I can count on one hand the amount of times that I've gone to a club. And I'm 32. But I enjoy spending time with my family more than going out and meeting people and dealing with strangers and stuff like that. And so with my family, we cook a lot, we laugh, we talk about each other, we play games, we play spades, Pokino, we play all kinds of stuff, and it's just a really good time. And that's one thing that I wanted to bring to my brand. And I also wanted to bring to my brand ways for people to enjoy being at home. There are so many people who now, since the pandemic, probably stay home a little bit more often. And then there are people who, even before the pandemic, were homebodies. And being in the house, there's only so much that you can do to entertain yourself. There's only so many TV shows you can watch, because there are so many different streaming platforms now. Like, who has money to, for all of those streaming platforms, and dedicating time to all of these different series and binge watching them and stuff. And so what I wanted to do was bring to the market a brand where I focus specifically on Southern homebodies, people who live in the South. That's my target audience. I haven't decided on the age range yet, but people who live in the South that are homebodies, and things that you can do when you're just staying in the house for the night, even if you're cracking open a bottle of wine, if you don't want to watch TV anymore, if your eyes are tired of your phone and stuff like that, like just putting things out there to make being at home more enjoyable. And so that's where we are today, September 24th, 2022. I'm getting ready to finally launch. I have so much to talk about that has happened over the last 2 years as I've been preparing to launch. I have so many different stories to tell, so many different lessons, so many different things I want to show you all that I've learned how to do, different ways of marketing that I've been discovering, because so many people focus heavily on social media, and they say a lot of people complain because, oh, I got a lot of followers or I get a lot of activity on social media, but I'm not making sales. And in my mindset, it's like everybody, for the people that I'm targeting, they're not necessarily always on social media, and so you have to figure out how to market to people outside of TikTok and Facebook and Instagram, and even going to markets, because you're not going to get into every market you apply to. So you have to come up with some different ways to market your business. And so there are a lot of things that I want to talk about, but I just wanted to come here today and just introduce myself, and tell you about my brand, and tell you that I have a lot in store. And I'm just gonna take y'all along on this journey. Recording these videos is going to be interesting because I've learned that making TikToks is not nearly as easy as people make it look. So I know that these YouTube videos are gonna be a different type of beast, but I'm committed to it. And I'm just interested to see where things go. So if you like this video, or if you're interested in watching my journey, please make sure that you like this video so YouTube knows to push it out to other creators or other future business owners or current business owners. And please subscribe and turn on your notifications so you can know whenever I release a new video. But that is all for today. I hope you all have a great weekend and a great week, and happy fall finally. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.